What's up, crackheads? Welcome back to Friends After Dark. It's been a couple weeks, but we're back and butter than ever. Which one of these is the connected one? Okay, good. I did it right. Hell yeah. So listen, chat's already caught on, right? Tweeted out the game. I was like, hey, we're playing Magical Diary Horse Hall. Listen, this game came out. It's what we call retconning. This game came out in 2012. And I don't remember when I bought it. But when I bought it, and for years afterwards, the name of the game was Magical Diary. Okay? Plain and simple. And then I go to load up the game today, and I notice the game's called Magical Diary Horse Hall. Alright? Now, I don't know if it's always been called Horse Hall, and, like, the library just hadn't been updated to say it until recently or whatever. But what I do know is why it is called Magical Diary Horse Hall, and that is because in February of this year, the year 2020, they released Magical Diary Wolf Hall, as you can see right down here. And so, of course, we can't just have Magical Diary and Magical Diary Wolf Hall, even though you definitely could. This is Horse Hall. I presume it was always Horse Hall, and my library just only called it Magical Diary until Wolf Hall came out. Anyway, it's a mouthful to say. We're gonna play some Magical Diary Horse Hall, because it won the marble thing. This game said it had partial controller support. That appears to have been a lie. Where you see I can like go over here to options, right? And I can get controllers, and I can like one controller initialize, and then I just... Oh god! What is happening? It just opened, the game just opened an ad for Magical Diary Wolf Hall on my computer. I'm not even joking. It like force opened my internet browser to show me Wolf Hall. Alright, never mind. I got the controller working. New game, baby. Haha, it's Mary Sue. We have to customize our character first. Spoilers, Trey. I just want to see what some random things. Is it like... I guess we're supposed to be... Or I guess we can be fairly... I don't know if we're supposed to be a girl, or if we're supposed to be able to not tell, because it's clearly one of the two. We're gonna spend 40 minutes customizing here. Some of these are dudes. Yeah, some of them... Some are clearly girls, some of... I feel like everything's either a girl, or could pass as either. I'm kind of feeling Style 9. The name is Mary, so a girl. Yeah, but you can change the name. Style 0. I'm kind of feeling Style 9. I kind of want to make a Yu-Gi-Oh character. Face. I don't know, they're all so good. Why is eye color a bar? Where's my pitch black option? The Two-Face is Yu-Gi-Oh! It kinda is. Ooh, I almost want to go, like, you don't have shading on your body. Oh, okay, it's like a male, female. It's like a fat or skinny. These are the options. It's so bright. I kind of like... What do you think? How do you feel about the design of this character? Or should I change the hair? Or something else? Also, how's the audio? Like, am I at a good level here? By the way, the fact that the screen is a square with 2 black bars on the side, out of my control. That's just how the game is. But at least, this is the easiest I've captured a game on After Dark in literal months. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain about the aspect ratio being a square. I wish it wasn't, but I'm not going to throw a fit over it. What do you think of the character design? Or is this who we want to run with? Can we give them a neutral gender name to make it even more confusing? Yes. Absolutely. Is this the character we want? Are you content with this? Alright. I could absolutely use the keyboard for this, but that's the pussy way out. Alright. Okay, listen. I'm gonna put a name. So I was walking down the street last night with a couple of the lads. Byleth, absolutely not. I was walking down the street with a couple of the lads downtown at like 1 in the morning, just hanging out for my good buddy Mothman's birthday, right? And we walked past the theater, and like in front of the theater, like a couple cities do, there's like this little walk of fame where they got like the stars and stuff in front of it. Like they got the star with the name in the middle of it. And we're looking at these names, and we get into an argument. Because I refuse to believe that some of these are like the names of real people, and that instead they are the names of characters from TV shows or movies. And everyone else is like, no, there's absolutely people, like, with this name. And obviously, like, it's a fun argument, so none of us are gonna ruin it by Googling it. We could easily solve this by Googling it. We're not going to. It's funnier. And then I see this name. And I point this name out, and this is a name that is on the road in a star. And everyone else goes, okay, that one might be fake. And so, I would like to present to you the name that I saw on this Walk of Fame. Which was the name L.T. Felty. Was the name that I saw. Why is it? It's all caps. L.T. Felty was the name on the sidewalk Walk of Fame. And I kind of think L.T. Felty might be the way to go. What is happening? Why won't it free me from this hell? Is it rejecting the name? No, there we go. Are there any complaints to L.T. Felty? Which absolutely sounds like a Sesame Street character. It sounds like a Muppet. I think L.T. Felty is the way to go. We're gonna teach them puppet magic. Chat is silent. I need to Google this. No! You'll ruin the fun. We're locking it in. L.T. Felty it is. It all started about 3 years ago. On my 13th birthday, but we aren't friends. Irrelevant. I was playing tag in the back garden with my friends, but when I tried to jump out of the way of the girl who was chasing me, I jumped so high that I flew all the way over the hedge. This is a Marvel movie. I see Google. This is a Marvel film. At first, I couldn't believe it was real. No one else could either. Within a few minutes, they'd all convince themselves that nothing unusual had happened. Then the next day, a strange old woman showed up at my doorstep to offer me the choice for my future, the Michael Jordan hop. It's just the beginning of Like Mike. I'm gonna look at our loading, or not our loading screen, our menu over here. Smart, strong, cute. We have to max weird. We have to max weird. Red. Maybe fire. Blue is like a reverse hourglass. Green is animals. Black is witchcraft. White is space. Stress merits money. Okay, got it? And now here I am, 16 and on my way to Iris Academy, an actual school for magic. Did he use magic to jump over the ledge, or is he just like Spring Heel Jack? The school lies in a hidden valley in the Green Mountains, about 150 miles from my home in New Hampshire. My parents drove me out here, but we've already said our goodbyes. I asked them to drop me off at the outskirts of the school grounds so I could walk the rest of the way on my own. Why? The cute, weird combo. No! Weird strong! Weird strong! Everyone loves the 8-foot-tall giant who's quirky. I knew Dad would cry and make a fuss over me before letting me go, and I didn't want my new classmates to see me for the first time looking like that. Actually, I'm surprised Dad agreed. He's always been a little overprotective. Maybe he's finally recognizing that I'm not a little kid anymore. Weird, cute. Absolutely not. Anyway, it means I have to carry my own suitcases, which contain all that I have to my name for the next 9 months. What if there was he was like, I can't carry all this. And so we have to, like, draft what items we actually take with us. This is how After Dark comes to ruin. Listen. The reality of it is we're gonna make decisions, like moral-esque decisions, and that's gonna affect our traits, and we're not gonna, like, openly decide what traits we change. It's gonna be based on the decisions we do. Maybe, like, our elements we'll choose, but I feel like everything else is gonna be, like, what decisions we make for other things. Not many clothes, because we'll be wearing school uniforms all the time, but I have some books, pictures of my friends and family, and decorations for my new room. Imagine living on campus and always having to wear a uniform. It's hell. There it is, up ahead. The campus looks more like a very posh boarding school than a home for wizards and witches. It sounds exactly like what a home for wizards and witches would be. Pretty buildings. Lots of trees and wide open spaces. Summer is still lingering here. The leaves haven't yet started to turn. I walk a little faster, feeling slightly too warm in this long robe and cape. I am in buffer hell. I'm sorry, gamer. Try refreshing the stream. Except you can't hear me, so you wouldn't know. Flower beds and arches stretch out around me. So many doors and windows, and they all look the same. There are 3 residential halls for girls and 3 for boys. I've been accepted to Horse Hall, which is for adventurous girls, whatever that means. Okay, so the game has actually aggressively decided our gender for us. Our entire discussion at the start was pointless. The other 2 girl halls are the butterflies, who are probably girly girls, and the snakes. I'm not sure who would want to be a snake. I'd much rather be a horse. Unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly where Horse Hall is. I guess Wolf Hall is the boy version of this? I have a letter about freshman orientation. Where did I put it? I look down at my suitcases while I walk, trying to remember which pocket I stuck the letter into, when suddenly, boing, I bump into someone. Oops! Sorry! He's an older... Oh, he's bopping! Yes, copy and paste the same. It took him 8 years to make. He's an older man in school robes with no hall symbol on them, which means he's probably a professor. This is not a good first impression. Sorry, sir. A new student, I see. And what might your name be? He has a lovely voice, dark and rich with a refined British accent. Fuck, dude, I nailed it! And he doesn't seem to be too angry with me. I relax a little. LT Felty, sir. I just got here. No, your real name. I am Buffer Purgatory. This is hell. Have you tried refreshing? Who wears a cape like that? This guy. I just got here and I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be. My voice trails off as I notice he's no longer looking at me. Instead, he's paging through the large book he was carrying. Miss Felty, was it? Wild seed. How unsurprising. Wild? More than likely a complete waste of my time. You have no idea how much you have been given, and you will throw it all away. Is my internet being real bad? That sucks. F. He scribbles something in the book, then slams it shut. 10 demerits, not a promising start. Pay more attention to your studies than you do to where you are walking, Miss Felty, or you'll find yourself expelled from this academy before the new year. With a snap of his wrist, he wraps his cape around him and stalks away. I haven't even started school yet, and already one of my teachers hates me. After a bit of looking around, I found the way into the girls' dormitory and located my hall. There are 9 doors in this hall, only one of which is labeled bathroom. If each bedroom has at least 2 girls in it, I hope that's a big bathroom. My own letter informed me that I would have 2 roommates, but didn't tell me their names or anything else about them. I haven't seen anyone wearing a horse insignia. All I can do is find my room and wait for them to show up. Imagine having like a fucking horse plastered on your uniform at all times. Here it is, room 3. I open the door and pick up my suitcases. Why did this person come to college with they came to fucking wizard school with $5? There's only 2 beds. What is this? This is a room for 2. Why do I have 2 roommates? Walking inside, I find a fairly ordinary looking bedroom. No skulls or drippy candles or blacklight posters on the walls. No incense or crystals anywhere, unless they just haven't had time to unpack yet. A girl who had been sitting on one of the beds stands up. I see she was also created with the character creator. Hello? You're a horse! I didn't mean that the way it sounded. Hi, I'm LT. Are you my roommate? One of them. I'm Ellen. That's Virginia's bed, but she went out to talk to somebody. Is this Ellen DeGeneres? Nice to meet you. Where are you from? Virginia. This is the state, I mean. I'm not sure where Virginia the girl is from. So what is kimped your hair? What is, why do you think the authors of this game were just sitting here, like, chuckling maniacally that they're like, oh, this girl's named Ellen and this girl's named Virginia, but Ellen's also from Virginia? I tilt my head. You don't have much of a southern accent. It's not that far south, and my family wasn't from there. What about you? New Hampshire, not too far from here. Are all these books? These are just like regular people from regular towns, but also there's a wizard school. Yeah. There aren't any computers here, so I bought my old encyclopedias. And those are textbooks for the classes I would be taking this year at my other school, if I hadn't left. You must be a really good student. Also, yes, Wolf Hall is where you play as a boy. Well, I felt like that, I mean, that went without saying, because Wolf Hall is one of the boy halls. Not really. I probably won't even open them, but I didn't know what I'd need, and I didn't want to need something and not have it. Those books are everything I could find out about magic. The real kind, now that I know it's real. What? Why are you freaking out? New Hampshire? Yeah, isn't it great? We're gonna be witches, just like in the movies. Oh, good. You're wild seed, too. What does wild seed mean? Science phobia. It means your parents weren't magic, so you're like a wildflower. She holds out her hand for me to shake. Me, my family's all magical, so I always knew I'd be a witch. I'm Virginia. She has a pretty strong grip. Wait. LT. Felty. Why are you yelling wait? Pleasure to meet you. Is it a problem being wild? Why do we have negative merit? Because we bumped into one of our teachers earlier, and he was like, minus 10 merits, and then he flew away. Do you remember that just happened? Is it a problem being wild? I met a professor, and he was sort of rude about it. A professor? Shaggy black hair, big nose? Yeah, I sort of bumped into him. Oh no! Now you'll be on Grabby's blacklist! The professor grabs girls? No, that's his name. Professor Grabner. He hates me. Is that how wildflowers work? Dude, I'm not a botanist. But we could make LT Felty a botanist, probably. He was a teacher? Yeah, they said that. They said it was a professor. He hates everybody, so it don't make much difference. Don't worry about it. Nobody cares if you're a bone witch or not. Not really. And everybody's scared of Grabby. He's a monster. William warned me about him. Who's William? My big brother. Bigger brother. He's a senior. Donald's a freshman like us. They're in Wolf Hall. But enough about boys. What sports do you play? What do you like? Professor, more like Professor Grab Her. Got him. I like softball, but I'm better at volleyball. No, she's a weird cute. We've done it. We have smart cute, and I think she might be. She's like an all-rounder. She's like weird, cute, strong. Which means we have to go a different route. I refuse to be weird smart. That's just asking to be abandoned. Good strong arms. Me, I prefer soccer. What about you, LT? I guess I'm mostly best at track. I like to run. What a bitch, what a pussy. Your legs are arms and my fighting spirit. We're the total package. Go horses! Are there sports teams for wizards here? Not exactly. There's bounders, but that's not a real sport. But there is a gym, and we can start our own sports team if we have to. Right, LT? I guess? Sorry, I'm rolling you over, aren't I? I'll let you unpack. Come on, Ellen, I'll introduce you to my brothers. Huh? Okay. Ooh, gamers, we must make a decision. Listen. God, it's a tough one. I really want to meet the brothers, right? But realistically, why is she New York? Don't worry about it. Realistically, I feel like we're gonna have plenty of time to meet the brothers. And we should unpack. I'm torn. I really want to meet the brothers, but I also think we can meet them later. What do you think? I just realized my phone hasn't been muted this entire time. We already said okay. Alright, fair enough. We'll stay and unpack. Okay, I'll see you later. Don't forget, LT, orientation is tomorrow, and you'll get to see old Grabby again. Great. I guess I better start putting things away. Everything moves quickly here, and I don't intend to get left behind. Tomorrow I start learning magic. It's good. We gotta not get expelled here. This is a true playthrough. It doesn't matter what ending we get. We're done once we get an ending. At 9 AM on Monday morning, all the freshmen are gathered in the gymnasium wearing capes and robes just like me, but they're not completely like me. Realistically, we can always unpack later. Yeah, but it's like, we might have classes with one of the brothers, so that's like a guaranteed way to meet them. I'm gonna save, by the way, just in case something happens, we don't lose our character. Okay. We also don't know if we're gonna need our stuff anytime soon. At 9 AM on Monday morning, all the freshmen are gathered in the gymnasium, wearing capes and robes just like me, but they're not completely like me. One boy has furry ears and a long, fluffy tail. One girl has glittering wings. And that girl looks like a vampire. No, she doesn't! What? That's bullying! That's what? That's just bullying right there. Is that what it means to be a born witch? Being something other than human? That girl was like less pale than we are. Virginia looks normal, but she could be hiding something under her robes. Only one way to find out. The muttering and shuffling of students drops off as someone steps up to the podium. Hello, my little flower buds. Welcome to Iris Academy. I start to applaud, but freeze, I realize no one else is. Then Virginia, besides me, picks up the clapping loudly. Soon the whole room is cheering. What a teammate. The witch holds up her hands and the room settles back into silence. My name is Professor Potsdam, and I will be one of your instructors in the ways of magic. What's with the hold on? We can't hold on forever, it's a visual novel. For some of you, this is the beginning of an adventure such as you never imagined. For others, this is only the next step in a journey you have been expecting all your lives. At Iris Academy, we teach spelling using the pentachromatic system. Red magic is forceful, but not necessarily violent. Blue is the color of transformation and change. Shapeshifter, run, shapeshifter, run. Green is the color of life in the world of plants and animals. Blue-green, we're running blue-green. White magic affects the mind and spirit, and black magic is contained within physical objects. Your palette should contain at least a few dabs of every magical color, but a beautiful painting doesn't need every shade. It's style that matters. I forgot what white was. Is white mind control? I think it was. You all have different strengths, different talents. Here at Iris Academy, we embrace that diversity and tailor your education to your needs. The stream is barely working for me. What the fuck? Everything is going good on my end. happened? Is it just because of your internet? Mild pause to cut this out. Good evening, crackheads. Welcome to a very special Wednesday edition of Friends After Dark. Why no, it is not quite after dark for me yet. What are you, a cop? It's Magical Diary again. I just like instinctively put the like mic of my headset close to my mouth to do a little zoom in, an audible zoom in, and then I remembered my audio is not coming through my headset. It's going through my actual streaming mic, which is much higher quality. Can Magical Diary launch? I'm sitting here waiting for the game to start up. We played this for about 30 minutes Monday. Oh lord, it's so loud. On my end, not on your end. You're gonna have to let me know how it is on your end. We played this for like 30 minutes Monday. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's gonna be edited right after the 30 minutes we played. And then there were technical issues. But this gives me big Cherry Tree High Comedy Club vibes, so we wanted it to continue it. I'm gonna make sure everyone's good to go. Make sure we're bopping, because I know it took me forever to get here. I was late. I swear to you, I woke up exactly when you tweeted that the stream was up. Good! The call went out, and the wizards assembled. Kimmy joining us via chat, because she hates stream delay on Discord. And unlike Miskatonic, I kind of care about this, so I don't want to kill the frame rate with Discord streaming. Previously... OMG, the audio is so fine. Good. Previously... 2 minutes ago on the YouTube version, but 2 days ago for us, we learned what all the spells did. I remember like half of them. We got red, I don't remember. Blue, transformation. Green, animals. Black, white is mind control. I don't remember what black and red were. I think red is power. Red, burn alive. Anyway, we're also apparently smart and strong, and a little bit cute and weird. Black was physical. Thank you, Kimmy. Minus 10 merits, $5. You all have different... This is our orientation. You all have different strengths, different talents. Here at Iris Academy, we embrace that diversity and tailor your education to your needs. White was spirit, I think. White was definitely... Listen, it was a lot of things, but I vividly remember mind control. Choose your schedule to focus your personal talents. We're drafting classes, boys. Don't try to become a reflection of your classmates. Follow your own star, wherever it may lead you. That is the way in which you are all alike. You each have your own future, and I know you'll make us proud. I was there, and even I don't remember. I remembered everything but black. Her starry-eyed way of speaking reminds me a little bit of my old school's guidance counselor, but she certainly seems nicer than Professor Grabner. I wonder which classes she teaches. Is she not the headmaster? I can't remember red. Red was power. Raw power. Kimmy, are you strong weird or cute weird? Kimmy is cute weird, but is strong when she hits me. You have been divided into halls to help you make friends with classmates who share similar interests. Now hold up a minute. You don't know what my interests are. I didn't take a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon quiz at the start of this to decide my classmates. For the girls, we have the adventurous horses, the charming butterflies, and the mysterious snakes. Why can't I be smart weird? What do you mean, Kimmy? You're smart, strong, cute, and weird, and I would never accuse you of not being any of them. Each group claps as their name is called. The horse is louder than the other. A lot of hesitation. Each group claps as their name is called. The horse is louder than the others, or perhaps that's just because I'm sitting with more of them. For the boys, we have the Daring Wolves, the Elegant Falcons, and the Eldritch Toads! Hold up. Where's my Magical Diary Toad Haul? I would buy day one purchase if they come out with Magical Diary Eldritch Toad Haul. I can't believe this. I can't believe the Wolves are the ones that got their own game. I'm mad. I'm not sure what Eldritch means, but toads sound even worse than snakes. Main villains, main villains. Frog deck, frog deck. I hope you'll all become good friends, not just in each hall, and not just in your year, but throughout the whole academy. But most importantly, I hope you'll get to know and trust your roommates, so that by the end of the year, you're able to work as a team for your final exams. And I know you're all looking forward to your exams. Yes. The audience predictably groans. For testing purposes, your instructors will regularly set your practical challenges in the school dungeons. The school has dungeons? Each task has many possible solutions. You will need to. This is a lot of info dump. You will need to. This is a real school orientation. You will need to make creative use of the spells you have chosen to learn. So think ahead about what may be useful and how. Okay, are you all ready for magic? Open up your diaries and begin penciling in your schedule. Your magic diaries. Get it? I need to choose which classes to attend this week. There are classes for each kind of magic plus general studying, which sounds boring, and gym class, which I've always liked. I can also schedule free time to relax and unwind. Oh god, okay, this is a save game. This is a save game. Whoops. Did I hit the wrong button? Did I hit load? I guess I hit a button to load game by accident. Whoops. Yo, I think we should focus on transformation. I want to go full animal transformation magic. I want to, like, master a beast army and then turn people into animals, which I then can control. Like an animal necromancer. Turning into a bug can get you out of so much. Also true. For most of my life, my classes have been planned out for me by my school. It wasn't until last year that I got to make any choices at all. Cantonese, French, or Spanish. Physics, chemistry, or biology. Still, everyone had to have the same number of classes, and they all started and ended at the same time. You couldn't get out of it. If I can choose whatever schedule I want here, what would happen if I never went to class at all? Would they really let me get away with that? I mean, you would fail your tests, is what would happen. What should I do this week? Okay. Easy. Easy peasy. What is this? Gym? So this is add to smart. This is add to strong. These are your 5 magics. This is healthy snooze. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Easy. Transformation. Blue. Green. Give me... It's tough. It's tough. I think middle of the week, we sleep. Is there no work option yet? How do we want to split up these last 2 days? Because a part of me thinks we should go either gym or study. White, rest, blue. Excuse me? Where are you getting white from? I'm not doing fucking white magic. You out of your mind? Fucking spiritual magic. Get out of here with that. Listen, I think one of these days should be spent either studying or doing the gym. Because magic can't get us out of all our situations. One of these days, we're going to have to either outsmart someone or fend for ourselves. And we need to hedge our bets on one of them. The 5th day, we should either choose a 3rd. They said you can focus on many. We can! That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to diversify here. But I ain't diversifying white. I want to go red for power. I think I do want power. Do we want to be smart or do we want to be strong? I'll let you guys decide that. I can go either way. I think I would personally choose strong, but I can definitely see the benefits of being smart in wizard school. Kimmy says smart. Frosty, do you have an opinion? Frosty's at a little bit more of a delay than us, so we're just gonna wait a moment. I think smart's actually Pun not intended. I think smart is the smart call. Because if we're already going power magic, which I believe red was. Give me a second. Listen. It's the one we remember the least. Hit me with a magical diary red magic. Is there a magical diary wiki? There actually is a magical diary wiki. What in God's name? Alright, here we go. Types of magic. Alright, red magic. The evocation control of energy. With this power, you might summon a breeze, light a fire, or call a distant object to hand. Thor's hammer. Blue magic is the color of change. That is altering what is already there. Not creating, not destroying. It is commonly used in conjunction with other magical styles when to perform alchemic transmutations and other alterations of essence. Blue magic can also be used to change the effects of an existing spell, to cast or dispel illusions, or to change locations without moving through interviews. Blue's overpowered. Blue hands down overpowered. Green, magic of life, affects living creatures. You can encourage your subjects to grow in the direction you prefer. Life has its own flow. You can change it, but the harder you push, the more energy you need. Black magic has nothing to do with death or evil. Black is the color of weight, solidarity, and permanence. Black magic is the magic of enchantment in physical form. All wands and things like that are created with black magic. This does mean that cursed items are enchanted with black magic as well. White magic is the tool you use to access the spiritual realm. Ghosts, dreams, creatures from other planes, the thoughts of those... I'm taking it back. I'm going white over red. Kimmy was right all along. With white magic, you can experience and communicate with things that are normally hidden. Since many spells in this school only work on living creatures, this skill is particularly... Okay, that's spoilers. It's useful in certain exams. I'm not reading that. I'm at a delay and I just want QE. This is only week 1, right? We can switch every week? Correct, yeah. Alright, we're definitely going smart... white magic instead of red. This is it. This is the layout. Thank you, Magical Diary Wiki. We're gonna get familiars. Activity blue magic. Uh-oh! This is one of his classes. Mill about all you like. It's your own time you're wasting. I have no objections to failing the lot of you at the next exam. A flurry of robes as students scramble for seats. Also, it sounds like if you want to change a physical form, you need black, not green. Green is, like, animals and, like, making plants grow and stuff. Blue is, like, transforming things. What dark hell is this? Magical Diary, baby! The next Pog After Dark game. Here you will be learning the subtle art of blue magic. At least some of you will. And you know, if we hate some of these classes, we can always change what we want to do next week. I thoroughly expect this subject to go over some of your heads. Blue is the color of change, that is altering what is already there, not creating, not destroying. It is commonly used in conjunction with other magical... Okay, listen, I may have just read this off the wiki. With other magical styles in order to perform alchemic transmutations and other alterations of essence. Blue magic can also be used to change the effects of an existing spell, to cast or dispel illusions, or to change locations without movement through intervening space. AKA, it's super busted, so they gave it the hardest teacher. For a skilled blue magician, reality is fluid. All things can be changed, yet few minds are capable of grasping the true range of possibilities. We'll see what you're worth. What was that sound effect? Gain 2 blue magic skills, 2 stress. Okay. Dude, only 2 stress? I return to my room and flop on my bed. Ellen's already here, sitting at her desk. Hi, LT. What did you think of class today? Isn't it exciting? It's okay, I guess. It's not really what I expected. I thought we'd be waving wands and reading old scrolls. Comedy club would never. Sounds like it'll take a while before we can do anything big, but I guess that's why we have school. I like it better this way, starting off with the theory behind the magic. It makes it into something real, something I can use instead of just a dream. This is crazy nice to have only 1 class a day. I imagine the classes are very tiring, considering you have to use, like, magic powers and whatnot. I've spent my whole life dreaming about something like this happening to me. I wondered if that's what makes a wild seed talent, wanting it so badly. What about you? No, I didn't really think much about magic growing up. I saw it in the movies and it looked like fun, but it wasn't something that mattered to me. I'm not super smart or creative. I haven't liked fairies since I was 8. I never wanted to be a goth. I was totally surprised when I found out I could be a witch. I guess my theory was wrong. I couldn't think of any other reason this would happen to someone like me. Well, it's random, right? Wild means we got lucky.
Even when it's supposed to be random, usually some people are more likely to get picked than others.
I stretch out on the bed, enjoying the feeling of having my feet free from the shoes and stare up at the ceiling. What a weird detail to point out. Magical diaries, do you have something to confess? Anyway, it can't only happen to people who really, really want it, or we wouldn't have to make the choice.
That's true, but I can't imagine what sort of person would say no.
I don't know. It's not a very interesting ceiling, now that I look at it. I suppose most ceilings aren't very interesting, but I never spent much time staring up at mine at home. After school, I'd be playing games, or hanging out with friends, or doing homework, or watching television. I didn't go to bed until I was ready to sleep. Should we decorate the ceiling?
What? The ceiling?
It's so boring. We could paint it like a sky with clouds, or maybe cover it with stars and make them glow, or put posters up there or something.
I don't want something over my head while I'm sleeping. What if it fell down?
I guess you'd wake up with a poster on your face. I don't know, it's just an idea.
If you want to cover the whole ceiling, you should probably ask Virginia what she thinks. It's her room, too.
What about what you think?
Well, I don't want something that will fall or make a mess. If you tried to paint the ceiling, it might drip all over everything. If you learned enough blue magic, you might be able to use that to decorate with illusions.
That's a really good idea. Blue magic sounding better and better.
Thanks. Well, what would you want to make it look like?
Interesting. Well, if you're making it with an illusion, you should make it look like anything, so it would be fun to see just how crazy we could get. Swirling clouds and lightning, dragons flying around, ripples and sparks, hellfire and brimstone.
How would we sleep with all that overhead?
We could turn it off at night. Hell yeah, we got the weird points.
Sorry, but I think that idea is a little bit silly.
Who are you to judge, Ellen? Well, maybe I can think of something else. No, we're sticking with the idea. There's no rush, the school year is only just beginning. We won't let Ellen bully us. Tuesday, September 3rd, Green Magic. When I arrive at the classroom, I find Professor Potsdam standing by the chalkboard. Hello, little seedlings. Please take your seats. Today you're going to learn about green magic, the magic of life. This is a very important skill for any witch or wizard to have, especially when you get to be a certain age. Your body is a garden to be cared for. With proper tending, it could last you for centuries. The Immortality Magic lets go. Slowly, carefully, you must encourage your subjects to grow in the direction you prefer. Be patient, and the rose vines will lose their thorns and twine around you. One of the students makes a scoffing noise. If it can heal, it can kill. What happens if you force something to grow the wrong way quickly? Why would you want to do that? Because if you don't like the life in front of you. Well, if that's your plan, I can look forward to working with you for a very long time. Life has its own flow. You can change it, but the harder you push, the more energy you'll need. To cause a great change in an instant takes immense power. So you'd better get started. Success. 3 green magic. We're getting stacked. We definitely rested too early. In the late afternoon, I'm sitting on my bed with a magazine when I hear a groan. Ugh! She drops her notebook on the floor, causing it to shed a couple of loose pages. What's the matter? Aw, nothing. Just school. She falls backwards on the bed and kicks off her shoes, letting them arc off in different directions, just like Matt Riddle. I hate school. Sitting still, taking notes, listening to lectures about things I know already and never need to know anyway. Blah! That's a boy. Well, you don't have to go to class every day. You were taking it easy today, huh? Let me get an age check. High school. Anyway, it's different for you. If I goof off, my brothers will catch me. Not that I care what Donald thinks. But William is different. He's a good guy. He's always looked out for me. Where are you guys from, anyway? Massachusetts. Salem. No, Springfield. But were there really witches in Salem? Sure, there still are, but I know what you mean. A lot of magical people are really connected to their homes. We tend to build a tower and defend it. If things go wrong at home, you fix them. Not so keen on moving. When times were bad for witches and wizards in Europe, they just hid better. They didn't go to America with the early colonies, not in big settlements anyway.
And no wizards from Africa went there at all. So the only proper magical people around were the natives. And by the time of Salem, they didn't want much to do with the colonists. Then a couple of kids came out wild seed, and there wasn't anybody to control them. So the witches they hanged were real. No, it was only those kids who were witches, but they didn't know it. When they started doing real magic, they were just as scared as the village people. So they blamed other people when the preachers told them to, and it was the other people who got hanged. Hard luck on them. Anyway, we have schools now, so that sort of thing doesn't happen. I guess it's important to go to school, huh? Yeah. It's an important lesson. That's a good lesson taught to you by magical diaries. Go to school, or you'll get hung like the Salem witch trials. Tower defense minigame. When I arrived at the classroom, I found Professor Potsdam standing by the chalkboard. Good morning, Starshines. You'll need to sit down before we can start, but take your time, relax, get comfortable. It's very important when working with this particular style of magic. I'm a little disappointed in the lack of teachers. Taking her at her word, I yawn and stretch before I settle into my seat. To some people, white is the absence of color, a blank canvas. In the non-magical world, white is a complete spectrum, all colors combined into one. In some ways, you could think of white magic as either of these things. White magic is the tool you use to access the spiritual realm. Ghosts, dreams, creatures from other planes, the thoughts of those around you. With white magic, you can experience and communicate with things that are normally hidden. Professor Potsdam. There is one thing I need to warn you about. Some people have tried to use white magic to control minds and spirits instead of asking for their aids. Fuck, she's on to us. Don't do it! You will regret it. Fucking, she knows. We gotta drop out, gamers. Now, shall we go on with the lesson? What sort of warning is that? Does she mean that it won't work, or that we'll be expelled, or arrested, or our brains will melt, or what? Maybe she'll tell us more later. 3 white magic skill. After dinner, I'm walking back to my room when I notice the door is already open. I peek through the gap to see who is inside. It's Ellen. She's folding up some clothing, probably putting her laundry away. Wait a minute, that's Virginia's dresser she's opening. Why is Ellen rummaging around in our roommate's stuff? I haven't made a sound. She doesn't know I'm here yet. Dude, absolutely ask her what she's doing. If you want to know something, why not just ask? What are you doing? Sorry, I didn't see you there. Just tidying up a little. Yes, but isn't that Virginia's stuff? Yes. Why are you tidying up her things? Because she doesn't do it herself. She's making you be her maid? No! At this point, Virginia returns to our shared room. Hey, you guys, what's up? Why are you making poor Ellen into your slave? Huh? She's not. Just what is going on here? I shake my head. I think I'm obviously confused about something. She saw me putting away some of your clothes. Oh, it was you that's been doing that. I'm sorry, I just hate messy rooms. No, it's my fault. I'm not very good at picking up after myself. Mom always does it for me at home. Still, I didn't think it was too bad yet. We've only been here a week. I hate having things be out of place. It makes me feel nervous. I don't know if I can make things perfect all the time. We all have to live together for a year without driving each other crazy. How can we work this out? It's definitely not the middle one. Okay, so it's like, this is like the logical answer, right? But it's a real close space. You know, this is what I would choose in real life, but it's a closed space, so it can really, like, freak Ellen out. I get what it's like to be a clean freak. Ellen should teach Virginia. I don't feel like we should be forcing ourselves on Virginia. You know? To an extent, it should be her decision. This seems like the simplest answer. But that's, like, I don't want to say this and Virginia be like, there's no way I'd ever do that. I don't want this to be like, now Virginia feels like she has to, but it's like, it's a good idea. It's tough.
It's tough. You don't usually want to get money involved. It's a hard choice. What do the lads think? How does chat feel about this opinion? What do the slimes out here? What do all the crackheads in the audience think? How is it not the middle one? I like paying, since Ellen has been doing it. At least now she gets something from it. But yeah, everyone for their own is the most fair. We're all split. I'm gonna go Virginia should pay Ellen. Because Virginia, theoretically... Theoretically, it gives Virginia the choice to do it. It gives Ellen permission to keep the place clean. I'm basically just a bystander. Do you like cleaning? No. I was asking Ellen.
I don't mind doing it.
That's not what I asked. Do you enjoy it? Is it fun for you?
Not really. It's just better than staying in a messy room.
Okay, so how about this? We get a weekly spinning allowance here, right? Why don't you pay Ellen a share to do your cleaning for you?
Pay me?
Well, she shouldn't expect you to work for free. What if I want to keep my money? Then you could learn to clean for yourself, or find some other way to pay her. If you hate cleaning and you're used to having someone else pick up after you, it might make sense to keep things that way. Ellen's better at cleaning, so she can do it. But if she's helping you, she should get something in exchange. Then everybody's happy, right? I love this, by the way. I want to say I love this. So often you make a decision. And you heard me. I panicked. I was like, which one of these is like, if I'm going to say this and she's going to like turn my words. That's exactly what I said. Word for word.
Well, if it's okay with you.
I guess. I'm not sure if it's a perfect compromise, but it's hard to reach a perfect agreement between 3 different people. I love how she said it. She said it the way I want her to. The game knows. I'm awakened early on Saturday morning by a tap at the door, followed by a faint hissing sound. What's going on? Snake! I stumble out of bed and find that 3 envelopes have been pushed under the door to our room, each marked with one of our names. Hey, money's here! Each envelope contains $5, the weekly spending allowance for Iris Academy students. What? How cheap are things here?
If it's our money, why can't they just give it to us all at once?
I guess they don't trust us to not spend it all at once and then run out and complain.
Well, that might teach people to plan ahead.
This way still teaches people to plan ahead. If you want to buy anything really cool, you gotta save up. But you're missing the important part. It's Saturday, and that means a trip to the mall. I didn't think you were a shopaholic. I'm not, but it's great to get out and look at something other than school for a while, isn't it? Also, they have ice cream and penny candy and really big cinnamon cookies, and we get the idea. Since I've been here before, I can show you guys around.
Well, what about studying?
You have plenty of time for that during the week, right, LT? Dude, absolutely go to the mall. It's week 1. You telling me we can't find time to go to the mall week 1? We just took a day off to nap. Sure, I'd love to go to the mall with you.
Great, Ellen. I guess it's okay. You ought to have a good breakfast before you look at ice cream.
Yes, mother. We don't have money. We have $10. And apparently they have penny candies here, so... Students are lining up outside the school, waiting for a free seat in one of the shuttle vans that travel between here and the local shopping center. Come on, we can ride together. Wait a minute. What is it? We're still in uniform. So?
Well, won't people stare at us because we're all wearing capes?
Nah, just act natural. It's no big deal. But it's nowhere near Halloween. Actually. Since the teachers aren't saying anything, I suppose this is what we're supposed to do. It really does sound like Cherry Tree High music. The mall is not very large or very crowded, at least where I'm standing. Witches and wizards easily outnumber shoppers in ordinary clothes, but no one reacts to the sight. I guess students come here all the time. They get used to it. Okay, that place does coffee and pastries. They have fresh fruit. That one does baked potatoes. There's a gift shop. There's the cafe. There's a baked potato shop here. Are all these stores magical? No, there's only one magic shop here. They sell wands and stuff. I'm gonna get a chocolate croissant. What about you? Ooh, baby. Oh, gamers, it's hard. Dude, it's tough. Yum, baked potato. Food court's real tempting. Games Arcade is a waste of money. It's fun, it's a waste of money. We don't need to be wasting our money week 1. Window shopping, that would help us save up. We can, like, view the goods. Magic store, that's helpful for classes. Food court would make Kimmy happy, and I'm already on the thin rope with Kimmy right now. After the smart, weird thing. I think it's one of these 3. I like magic store since we're new to it all. I agree. With Virginia's magic directions in mind, I set out in search of the magic store. Maybe we can find a magic CC's and get a job there. This branch of the mall looks like a dead end. You're all magic freaks. Yeah, man. We went to wizard school, brother. There's only one shop front, and it's blacked out with a coming soon sign on the door. But as I get closer, a patch of wall blurs and shimmers to reveal a second door, marked with a star. Marvelous magical accoutrements. Seal of Word. It's so expensive. Wacky glasses. Bat wings. The Wiggle Wand. Absolutely not. Listen. We need bat wings, protective gear, wacky glasses, Wiggle Wand, in that order. I finished my shopping and joined my fellow students to return to Iris Academy. They're just wizards from a Waverly Place. And an amulet. That's like last bottom of the list here. On Sunday morning, I sleep in. There aren't any school activities today that I know of, and I haven't made plans with anyone, so there's nothing else to do. Which just makes me realize, I miss my family. Yo, why doesn't Sunday take away some of our stress if we're just laying around doing nothing? Why didn't Saturday take away some of our stress? They're usually protective ward, good for the final. I'm not used to being completely out of contact like this. There aren't even any phones in the dorm, so I can't call home. Well, if we get good enough at Blue Magic, we can teleport home. Dad promised he and Mom would ride, but I haven't received anything. Maybe they were too busy on the first day, or the mail was slow. I'm sure I'll hear from them soon. Uh-oh, communication's cut off. There's a snake among us. No phones, no computers, no television. It doesn't matter much during the week when I'm busy with classes, but on a day like today, it leaves me feeling restless. I think I'll go outside. It's a beautiful campus. I'm careful to stop when I want to admire something rather than keep walking and risk another collision. But while the flowers and paved walkways are nice, what I'm really looking for is something a little more open. I follow the paths away from the main buildings towards grassy fields. We could play games out there. If we borrowed some balls from the gym, I wonder if Virginia was serious about starting a sports team. Hey, I think I see her up ahead. She's talking to someone I don't know. I hurry to catch up. Mostly girls again this... Alright, I guess this is her voice. Mostly girls again this year, isn't it? Yeah, both my roommates are. I pause in mid-step. What is she talking about? Me and Ellen? Even better, Trey, record this. Kimmy likes curse items. She's dangerous. This isn't news to me. That could be a problem, eventually. Ellen and I both had wild magic. Is that the problem? No, they want boys. Well, maybe more of us should drop out. The other way would be more fun. Maybe for you it would. The winged girl laughs. What on earth are they talking about? They're talking about dick. This is silly. Spies never hear anything nice. I have no idea what they're discussing and I shouldn't try to figure it out. I'll only come up with crazy stuff. I'm just gonna walk away. At the end of the week, I get the chance to organize my thoughts and my belongings, as well as review the spells I've learned so far. Okay. Inventory. Literally nothing. Diary. Okay. Homesick. Done. Fantastic time to save game. Next week. September 9th. Once again, we were all called to the gymnasium first thing in the Monday morning. Only this time, there are even more people here. Is this a meeting of the whole school? What for? I asked Virginia if she knew what this was about, but she just grinned and said she couldn't tell me. Someone steps up to the podium, but it's not a teacher. Good morning, everyone. My name is William Danson, and I am your incoming senior class president. But for the next week, half of you will be calling me Sir William. Welcome to freshman initiation. Kimmy sending a curse to silence me, but I have Neo protecting me. A magical initiation ritual. Before we start, I am required to give you some safety information. Nothing that happens this week should cause you physical harm. If you are ordered to do something dangerous or that you know is wrong, please go to a teacher immediately. Now, all of you freshmen, please line up. One at a time, come up on stage, announce your name and where you come from, and receive one of these initiation handbooks. Okay. Students who dutifully shuffle along, announcing themselves one by one. Some of them I've already met. Some names are new. Suki Sato, Jamal Mir, Pastel Rayo, Luke and Logan Pfeiffer. Then it's my turn. After I state my name, William hands me a stapled together paper booklet. Inside are a bunch of rules and a list of all the members of the senior class, complete with black and white pictures and full names. According to this, we're required to memorize the names of all the seniors, and throughout the week we have to address them as sir or lady whatever. And there's more. We have to memorize a silly poem and recite it on command. We must never show our backs to a senior. We must never be taller than a senior. We must always respond to requests with... Wait, William's at the podium again. Now, as well as serving and honoring the entire senior class, each one of you will become the property of one particular senior. Excuse me? I don't know how I feel about the girls' class becoming property. Your senior is your master, your best friend, your worst nightmare, and your only protection from the rest of us. Stand and wait, and we will choose. He steps away from the podium while we freshmen look at each other nervously. The seniors start to move around the room, poking and prodding and calling out orders. You're taller than me, freshman! Get down on the ground! Don't turn away from me, freshman! I see your back! Maybe that's why it's so troublesome. Ellen and I end up kneeling, back to back, and watching as the sharks circle. You. I look up and see a strange boy standing over me. Very strange. Even Pastel, the girl with the fairy wings, looked mostly human. According to the list of seniors, his name is Damian Ramsey. But what is he?
Oh, hey, LT Felty. I think you should be mine.
Okay.
Stand up.
But then I might be taller.
It's alright. You're with me. You don't have to worry about the rules if I'm with you. Only what I say matters. Oh, here, take my hand. I'll help you up.
Dude, absolutely take his hand. With Damien's help, I climb to my feet.
Come on, I'll walk you to the door. You need to stay by me until you're out of sight of the other seniors. Then you can plan the rest of your week in peace.
You know, this school isn't so great after all. What happens for the rest of the week?
More of the same, mostly. They'll boss you around when they see you and make you say embarrassing things. Then on Friday, everyone hugs and makes up.
Can we please start referring... Wait. Can we please start referring as Liddy Fitty? No, it's LT Felty.
Don't let it distract you too much from your studies. You need to learn if you're going to keep up. I'd suggest studying blue magic this week.
Is that an order, sir?
Just a suggestion. When I give you an order, you'll know. I will turn up to give you some instructions later in the week. I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't give you at least a little bit of a hard time.
He grins and brushes the back of his hand against my cheek.
Good luck, LT.
I don't like that. Don't touch me like that, weirdo. With a wave, he leaves me on my own. So what should I do this week? I mean, listen. I'm already trying to learn. Blue magic is overpowered. Hit it, brother. Oh, we do still need to learn our other magics as well, though. This thing is a solid amount. I think it's good. I need to see how much smart we learn from studying. Because if we're only getting like 2 smart, next day midweek, otherwise our stress. Rest day midweek, otherwise our stress. Look how little our stress is. I think we can, worst case scenario, rest at the start of next week. I think our stress isn't going up that high. We're gonna be fine. Look at that, only 3 stress. I think we should rest every other week. That's kind of how I feel. 3 blue magic. I learned a new spell, Light, costs 1 mana, a gentle glow, improves visibility in the caster's location. Fantastic. I'm walking back to my room when I hear someone yelling up ahead. This is Angela. what's a good Angela?
Lower, freshman. Yes, Lady Angela.
Ellen bends her knees, but the older girl follows suit.
You're still too tall. Lower.
Poor Ellen tries to make herself even smaller. If that senior notices me, she'll just start yelling at me too. I can't make her stop, but I feel like I ought to do something. What? Isobel? Is this a guy or a girl?
Hey, leave her alone.
Oh, dude, I hit the wrong button. Whoopsies. No, please, free me.
Is she yours?
She's a horse, and this is a hole. You go on now.
Girl, guys have a side cape. I hadn't even paid attention.
Whatever.
Sorry about that, kids. People ought to be safe in dorms and classes so they can get their schoolwork done. I know I'm not your senior, but if you really need help dealing with the others, just let me know.
Thanks.
The older girl nods and goes back to her room, and I come out of hiding. Are you okay?
What? I'm fine. Everything's fine.
A giant.
Really?
I follow Ellen into her room. Hey guys, how's initiation so far? I'm not sure what the point is. It's a bonding experience. How else would you know that you'd grown up and become a real witch? By casting spells? Whatever! So you guys, who'd you guys get for seniors? I got Balthazar Brundrick. He likes plants. He really likes plants. I think he's got moss growing on him.
Your brother, William.
Oh, that's great! He'll be good to you. What about you, LT? Damian Ramsey. Oh, no. What do you mean, oh, no? He's evil. What? What's so bad about him? Look at him! He's a demon! Don't judge by appearances. I can't believe you would judge somebody by the color of their skin. It's not his fault he was born blue. That is not the point. All you've said so far is that he looks bad. He's vicious. Has he actually done anything wrong, or is he just grumpy? If people were calling me evil all the time, I'd be grumpy too.
Please, don't yell.
Whatever, you do what you want. Look, if there's a real problem with him, tell me about it. We learned about this in Detroit Become Human. She shrugs. It's just rumors. Anyway, he's your senior now. Listen, I'm not gonna do anything evil. I'm hurrying across the campus first thing in the morning when I spot Damien leaning against the wall. What was his voice again?
Hey guy. Oh, hello there, LT.
Hi, sorry, I can't talk right now.
What's the matter?
Big Steve said I had to get him coffee right now. Well, he sort of growled it, really.
Who do you belong to? Me or Big Steve?
Oh, very topical. Well, you, but...
I think you have time to talk. Don't worry, I won't bite. It's just that I've been thinking about you. As your senior, I'm supposed to give you commands so that you can demonstrate your obedience. I have to make you do things that you wouldn't want to do. But I don't want to do anything that would hurt or upset you in front of people.
Oh. Well, I know, I kind of want to meet Big Steve, too.
So I thought of something else. Something you could do that no one else would have to know about. Or a little secret.
Like?
I want you to write me a love letter.
What?
An extremely romantic love letter. I want you to proclaim your undying passion in words with hearts and flowers and sealed with a kiss. See, you're embarrassed. That makes it a good challenge for your initiation, and a good souvenir for me too. I always wanted someone to write me a love letter. So you'll do it, right, freshman?
I'll do it.
Good girl. Hand it to me by midnight, your task is complete. And make sure it's juicy. You better hurry and get Steve's coffee now.
Right. We head off on our separate ways. I felt that, Damien. 2 blue magic, 2 stress. Lose spell, silence. A single target is rendered temporarily noiseless. Stealth. Listen, Damien's a good guy. I just want a love letter. I'm sitting on my desk, staring at a blank piece of paper and tapping my pencil absently.
Could you stop that? It's a slightly annoying sound.
Sorry. I flatten my hands on the desk surface to try and keep from fidgeting and sigh. At midnight is very sus. It's pretty sus.
Are you doing homework?
Nah, I'm trying to write a stupid love letter.
A love letter?
Not a real one. It's for initiation. I'm supposed to write a really romantic love letter. But I have no idea what to say.
Oh, maybe you should just quote Shakespeare. Sonnets are romantic.
Yeah, Kimmy, what are your thoughts about Damien? I don't think that counts as writing.
Sorry, I was never good at creative writing. Oh, I have an idea. You don't have to copy a famous poem exactly, but they can still give you suggestions. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. So compare him to something unusual.
What can I compare Damien to? His voice is like butter. I think of butter when I think of your voice because it's warm and soft and it goes all melty. It goes all melty in the ears of LT Felty.
That's sweet. Good start.
If you were butter on a table with a bread basket, lots of people would want to take bits of you, but I want to keep all of the butter for myself because it's delicious. I love him. He's a sweetie with a flirty side. Ha ha ha. Voice like butter. I just realized she said he had a voice like butter in the voice that I ended up giving him. Butter gets all over my fingers and makes them slippery, and when I lick them, I'm not sure how to finish that sentence.
I think you've said enough already.
Are you sure?
Well, I suppose you could finish it with, I'm thinking of you.
Okay. Now look at what I've written and frown. I don't think I have good love letter handwriting, though, and I don't have any cutesy stationery.
I do. I could copy it over for you if you want.
Really? Thanks. I hand her my scribbled version, and she produces a small pad of pink paper decorated with flowers. It's supposed to be sealed with a kiss. Do you think he'll know if I don't?
I don't know. There might be a spell for it.
I guess I have to, then. Ellen copies my love letter, and I fold it up and carefully kiss the center of the folded paper. I do not want a paper cut on my lip. Now I can deliver this thing and forget about it. Funky jams. Alright, green magic time. All of a sudden, in the middle of class, a boy stands up, climbs onto his chair, and begins to speak. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wade.
Mr. Pfeiffer.
All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome wraths outgrabe.
Mr. Pfeiffer, that will be enough, thank you. You've fulfilled your task. Here, let me help you down.
Luke looks confused and then takes the professor's hand to hop to the ground and sit back in his seat.
My dear starlings, seniors do not override professors, and initiation does not override school rules. If someone orders you to do something in class, ignore them. The excuse of initiation will not get you out of being punished.
So I get detention now.
Oh no, I love that poem. You'll just have to finish reciting it for me after class.
Oh, what a wacky situation. Listen, this could be very sus. Where's Neo? I learned a new spell. Diagnosis determines the current state of health of a living target and locates ailments and injuries. Extremely useful. Medic. Easy peasy white class. New spell. Detects nearby sentience, including ghosts and creatures of the other world. I know if someone's packing Ghost Army. I hear someone outside. Look how little our stress is increasing. We might only need to rest like once every 3 weeks. Listen, Kimmy, it's a reference to a movie that I'm definitely going to show you at some point. That being said, I'm mostly not acknowledging the Neo references because they're both irrelevant and also not that funny. It sounds like someone's crying. Ellen? What's wrong? Was one of the seniors picking on you again?
That letter, that love letter I helped you write, somebody gave it to Professor Grabner. And then he did his spell to find out who wrote it, and so he blamed me, and he wouldn't listen, and now I have detention, and I've never had a detention in my life, and...
What? How would that letter get to the professor? I gave it to... Damien. I reach out and give Ellen a quick hug. It'll be okay. I'm gonna find out what's going on. I mean, it's a prank. He pranked the hell out of you because he's a dick. Is exactly what happened. I stomp through the halls, driven by the fires of righteous fury. Even the seniors I pass my way don't dare challenge me. Falcon Hall, some of the pretty boys. He must be around here somewhere. Damien?
Is my favorite freshman looking for me?
I jab my finger into his chest. You gave my love letter to Professor Grabner. He read it out in front of everyone, and then he did a spell to see who wrote it, and now my roommate's got detention.
Your roommate?
She has better handwriting than me, so she rewrote it on pink paper to make it look cute. She did me a favor and now she's being punished for it. I hope you're happy.
It wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, LT, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have been bragging. That's what started this.
Wait, what?
I was telling some of the guys I know I'd made my freshmen write this letter for me. I was showing off. They thought it was funny, the very idea of a girl writing a love letter to someone like me. When I was at class yesterday, someone broke into my room and stole the letter.
This is no. We've got 21 points smart. This is way too convenient. He's lying. He's playing the field. I don't believe him. I'm not gonna bully him for it. I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, but I'm not gonna believe him. I'm gonna just be like, oh, okay, sure. Not gonna believe it.
I thought they were only gonna use it to tease me. Never imagined they would try to use it against you, and I had no idea your roommate was involved. Well, I'm not gonna let them have the last laugh. Come on, LT. First, I'm gonna apologize to your roommate in person, then I'll go to Professor Grabner. If someone gets detention for this, it should be me.
Never. Okay, listen. If he does this, I'm gonna believe him. He grabs my hand and pulls me along the corridor slightly roughly. He looks a bit scary when he's mad, but I bet I did too. I know just how he feels. It's so unfair when mean people hurt innocents for no reason. When we reach Horse Hall, I detach myself from his grip. Let me go and fetch her. I don't think she'd react well if you suddenly barged into our room. He sighs.
Of course.
Not because you're a demon, just because she's upset right now.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'll wait.
I enter the room. Ellen is sitting on our bed with an odd expression on her face. Ellen, Damien's here to apologize. Some bully stole his love letter to pick on him. He said he'll go to the professor and explain.
That's alright. He doesn't have to.
What?
William already did. He came to check on me, and I told him the whole story, and he's class president, you know, and he said he could fix it.
Oh.
He's very sweet.
So will you come talk to Damien? He feels really horrible about what happened. And I yelled at him too, so I feel kind of guilty.
Okay.
She goes outside to talk to Damien. So her senior already rode to her rescue. Well, I guess that's good. The important thing is that it gets sorted out. Alright. Simple enough. It's not until after I wake up on Friday morning that I realize something. Something very important which should have occurred to me before now.
Virginia! Virginia! Wake up!
What?
It's Friday the 13th!
So, are there any special rituals you need to do or not do to protect us from magical bad luck? Oh, no. Friday the 13th is good luck when you're a witch. Oh. So it's a good omen that our initiation finishes today. William is the true villain. I absolutely could see that. Now let me finish sleeping. She pulls the covers over her head. Studying. Gained 1 smart. Listen, gamers. I don't think studying is worth it. 1 smart? We could have focused on more magic. I think studying is a waste of time. After the day's activities, we're all called together into the gym again. Just freshmen at first, standing together in a confused herd and whispering about the crazy tasks we've done this week. Then we hear the sounds of heavy bootsteps marching in union.
Bow down, look up. You're too tall. Don't turn your back on me. Lower, lower!
After a few minutes, we're all lying flat on our backs on the floor. And that's when William takes the stage. Welcome, freshmen. It's time for the final phase of your initiation. Corina will be passing out the blindfolds. Please put them on. A long-haired girl from Snake Hall tiptoes around the room, delicately placing a strip of dark fabric in the hands of each freshman. Blindfolded? What are they planning to do with us? Well, everyone else is doing it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I can't see and I have no idea what's going on. Ah, if only we put more effort into blue magic. I hear people moving around, whispering. 1 or 2 giggles. I wait. Eventually, I feel a hand touch my shoulder. Sit up, carefully. Now on your feet. I stand up with unseen hands under my elbows, steadying me. Then one of those hands pushes me. Hey! Round and round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. I feel myself spun around, passed from hand to hand. Stop! They hold me, swaying in place. For your own safety, do exactly what I tell you. Walk forward slowly. That voice sounds familiar. Well, whatever, I'll play along. I'm gonna hedge my bets and say it's Damien. I follow the instructions of the voices and try to guess where I'm going. Through the buildings, out a door, across the grounds.
Step up.
Up?
Careful now. Don't hit your head.
I feel a hand on top of my head, guiding me into a van? Sit down. Wait.
Here, sit down. I'll strap you in.
I can hear other people being guided into the remaining seats. So okay, we're going for a drive. To the mall, to a cave, to a hotel, to a secret underground temple. At last we arrive and are carefully ushered out of the car.
Surprise!
What?
Initiation's over. Now it's time for the party.
Groups of students lounge around by the lakeside, seniors and freshmen mingling freely. Long tables grown under watermelons, punch bowls, and chafing dishes. We've been kidnapped.
There's soda and barbecues and games, and presents from the seniors to their freshmen.
You bought me a present?
Actually, we were supposed to make them, but I've never been very good at that sort of thing. So here,
It's the beach episode! He hands me a small box. Inside I find butter.
and you don't have to share it with anyone.
I giggle. I can't help that. I'm mad. I'm mad that it's making me laugh too. I'm mad. I can't believe this. He smiles at me and seems so perfectly happy that I can't imagine anyone would ever think him an evil demon.
Come on, let's go join the party. It's just getting started.
Alright. Everybody's here. This would be a good chance to get my roommate to meet Damien and see that he's not a bad guy. But if that backfired and they said something mean to him, it could spoil the party. What should I do? I'm losing it. 1,000,000% introduce Damien to Virginia. We are the peacemaker. Oh, you should meet my roommates.
Are you sure?
They're nice. You'll like them. I hope. I spot Virginia crowd. Actually, I spot her senior, who's pretty hard to miss, and then Virginia beside him, and start to lead Damien in their direction. Virginia's a born witch, so she's really helpful telling me and Ellen things about the school and traditions and stuff. Already better than comedy high writing. Oh, what's this dude? Right through my begonias. No, but if you take some tea and rancid yak butter. Hello. What? Fuck, my brain is melting right now. Hello, LT. What the fuck was the voice? Hey guys, what's going on? Hello, LT. What the fuck was the voice? Hey, hello, LT. She grabs my hand. Isn't this a great party? Hey, what's going on? It's a great party. And then she notices Damien. Balthazar. Oh, you're a senior. Virginia, this is Damien. Damien, my roommate Virginia.
William's sister.
That's right. And I assume you guys already know each other.
Balthazar.
Damien.
Good week?
It's alright. Balthazar here was just telling me all about his begonias. Why don't you two talk about that while LT and I go get some food? But, you know how much I love dessert. Dude, rude. Rude. Stay with Damien. It's rude. It's senior freshman day. You go on ahead. I'm not hungry. Sue yourself. She ducks out between the guys and scurries away towards the refreshment table. So, you are LT. It is a pleasure to meet you. He extends his hand to me and I shake it firmly despite the dampness. Do you know anything about bryophytes? Not really. They are most interesting. Their reproductive cycle. I sneak a peek at Damien, wondering if there's some way we can escape, but he appears to be willing to stand and let the guy ramble. It isn't until several minutes later that I manage to suggest Balthazar go and find Virginia, so that Damien and I can actually enjoy the party. But that's okay, because there's plenty of time left for us to have fun. I respect Balthazar. On Saturday morning, I wake up to find envelopes under the door again. Our allowances, and one extra. My parents finally wrote to me. I open up the envelope, intending to skim through it quickly, but it turns out there's not much to skim through. They send their love and hope I'm having fun at boarding school. That's it. No mention of what they've been doing, no questions about any friends I've made, not even any questions about magic. How can they not ask about magic? Before I got here, I had no idea that was possible. There was only that brief moment of magic back when I was 13, before the officials came to turn off the power and give me the choice. For 3 years, I've had to wait and wonder. And now I'm finally starting to discover the entire world of possibilities, and they don't even ask? Maybe they don't want to bother me in case I'm busy, or they figure I'll tell them what I want to tell them. I still haven't written. I'm so bad. This is definitely like, they're like censoring the letters. I will write them a letter tomorrow, really. But for today, I have to decide whether or not to go out. Hit me with a study this week. We'll go to the mall next week. After breakfast, I sit down to figure out what to write to my parents. I could tell them about the strange professors here, but I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. There are lots of silly stories about things that happened during initiation, but I'm not sure if you can really appreciate them if you weren't there. They might think it sounds like bullying. I guess I should tell them about my bedroom and the food here, things like that, so they don't worry about me. They'll want to know that I get enough sleep and I remember to brush my teeth. And my roommates, I should write about them. We've been so busy, we don't know each other all that well yet, but they're both good people. Even if I am a little bit annoyed at Virginia. Poor Ellen's had a hard time of it this week with initiation. I'm sure she's glad that it's all over. They definitely wiped the parents' mind of magic. It was bullying. As for magic, well, I've learned a few things, but I haven't really done proper magic yet. Just classroom exercises, so I'll wait a while before I tell them about that. Mail doesn't go out on Sundays, so I fold my letter up and stick it in an envelope. But I don't seal it yet. I can get a stamp from the on-campus post office tomorrow. I think I'll go for a walk. I wander around the campus, wondering how long the leaves will stay green. This is a magical place, so it might be like this all year. I'd miss the fall colors, though. I wonder what witches and wizards do for Halloween. Dress up like normal people? As I'm thinking that, my own personal Halloween decoration makes an appearance. What a name to call someone. Hi, Damien. He looks at me oddly. What are you up to? Want to do something together?
Why?
To be friendly? Because we're bored?
Not that bored.
Without a further word, he brushes past me and away. What just happened here? Virginia comes up behind me. Told you so. Told me what? That he's evil. I was just talking to my brother about him to get the scoop. He's a total womanizer. William says last year he left every sophomore in Butterfly Hall crying in the bathroom at some point. He gets girls' hopes up, then when they fall in love with him, he dumps them. I'm not dating him. The point is, he's a jerk. Forget you ever knew him. You'd be better off. There must be some misunderstanding. I know Virginia doesn't like Damien, but he was nice to me. Maybe he's just having a really bad day. Listen, that was a pretty dick thing. I'm not gonna I'm gonna give him space. You don't gotta force yourself. If he doesn't want to hang out with us, he's fine. Don't force yourself to get attached. That's stupid. If he doesn't want to talk to me right now, there's no point chasing after him. Correct. Come on, let's go to the gym and play. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Snubbed, studying Lakeside Party. White magic class, Ellen in trouble, green magic, blue magic, love letter. Feeling blue, blue magic, freshman initiation. Done. Do, save the game. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Most initiations are bullying, that's for sure. Hell yeah, brother. We can look at our spells now. Look at that. Look at these cool spells. Alright, next week. On Monday morning, I set off across the campus on my way to breakfast. Hey, what up? Phew, I caught ya! What's up? Sign-ups for clubs this week. I wanted to make sure you're on board for the sports team. Liz next door said no, but Anisha's in. Listen, I'm very excited to draft my club. What sport are we doing exactly? Doesn't matter. We can vote on that later. First, I have to get enough people to agree and find out what sort of team we can manage. Promise to join? Sure, I guess. Great! We have official sign-ups on Wednesday afternoon, so go to the gym then. And as long as we're both doing it, Ellen will have to stop studying all the time and join in. She waves and jogs away. Well, so what am I going to do this week? Alright, listen, studying, it's for nerds. It barely gives us any smart whatsoever. It's time to triple down on science. Blue, 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 green, white. We're getting stacked. We're going to triple down on blues this week. Blue magic class. We're gonna definitely take a rest next week. Just skip right to the blue, baby. Only one blue? Ah, it's a bad class. Only one stress, though. Learn a new spell, though. True Sight. Allows the cast to see through illusions in the current location. Trey, we should do red next time. I will do a little red as a treat. Success. Gain 2 blue magic skill. After class, I arrive at the gym to see a haphazard collection of booths and tables, and clouds of underclassmen swirling around them. Raven Darkstar from Snake Hall is with a group that appears to be the Drama Club. Someone else has a Save the Dragons banner. Save them from what? Ellen's already here, standing by the wall looking around before joining the throng. Who uses the word throng? Hey, you guys. Come on, you have to put your names on the form to make it official. My sign-up's over there. Huh? Virginia grabs us both and drags us over to her station. Sign it, sign it. Alright already, let go of my wrist.
Sorry. You gotta sign it. I have to grab some more people. She hurries away. Ellen sighs and picks up the pen. Listen. She's an adult. Ellen can make her own decisions. Or can she? Sign up for what? Virginia's forcing us to sign up for her sports club. I'm rolling another villain tactic. Gamers, opinion. I'm leaning towards let her sign up. But I would like to hear the jury's opinion. As I take a drink of water. Why not let her help the roommates bond? My man used a super override on this? What? My man busted out the super override? No, don't let her sign up. I let the money cleaning go. He used a super override. Tell her she doesn't have to. You know, you don't have to join just because she tells you to, if you're not into sports. Huh? Are you saying I look like I can't play? No. I just don't want Virginia to bully you, that's all. Whatever. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. It just makes me mad sometimes. At gym class in my old school, I was never the first one picked for teams, even for games I'm really good at. Everybody notices what I'm good at. Well, that means they're dumb and they underestimate you, so you can clean their clocks, right? Sometimes. I wait for Ellen to write her name on the form, then I sign beneath that. I'm gonna look around and see what other clubs there are, okay? Yeah, I guess I should too. I wonder if magical universities care what clubs you were in at magical school. Is there a magical honor society? As Ellen and I move around the room, I see someone jump up onto the stage. It's Donald, Virginia's other brother. He pounds his fist on his chest a few times and takes a deep breath. Brooms for old shoes, pouch rings, boots and bushkins. He has a surprisingly good voice, strong and clear, even if the words are nonsense. Will you buy any new broom? And then Jacob from Falcon Hall stands up beside him and starts the song from the beginning as Donald continues. It's a round, like Frere Jacques, but a strange one. I'm bopping. After they finish singing about spools and sealing wax or whatever, the boys make grandiose bows, and I applaud along with the other students who were paying attention. It's not my kind of music, but they were pretty good at singing it. Come this way to sign up for Choral Owl. They wave and jump down from the stage. Choral sounds like fun. I'm not interested, but I follow Ellen anyway to be polite. Hello, ladies, here to sign up for... Wait, I know you! How much rehearsal do you have to do to be in chorale? Kimmy, am I pronouncing this correctly? Your urchin's roommates! What are you doing here? She said you were joining a stupid sports thing. I can't do both? Well, what if we schedule things at the same time? You gotta pick which side you're on, mine or hers. That's rude. But Ellen just laughs. It's okay, I know how you feel. I have a little sister too. You do? You never mentioned her. We're very different people. Jenny is not interested in magic, or books, or sports. She just wants to be a ballerina and have everybody love her. Is she spoiled rotten? Does she get away with everything even as she started it? Basically. Ha! See, little sisters are a menace. One time, Urchin melted a cherry ice pop all over my math workbook, and Mom and Dad wouldn't believe I didn't do it, as if I'd eat that junk. So they wouldn't spell it off, and I had to hear about it from them and my teacher at school, because she's a messy eater. Jenny used to hate it if I locked my door to study in private, and she would stand outside and scream until Mama would make me let her in. Yeah, you know how it is. It's more like Carol, thank you. Anyway, it's cool if you want to sign up for Carol. I'd like to try, but if it gets in the way of my schoolwork, I'll have to stop.
Yeah, whatever. What about you, whatever your name is? Me? There's no way I'm singing in public. I think I'd better go see how Virginia's doing. I hurry away. No, I wanted to take a new club. I wanted to choose a club. Chorale. Chorale. Okay. Chorale. I thought that was how I was saying it a minute ago. But oh well. Learned a new spell. Reveals the emotional state of a target. That... Put it on Damien. Immediately put it on Damien. Virginia's sticking a piece of paper to the wall with blue putty. What's that? Members list. We did it. We have enough people for an official club. Even if Liz still refuses to join because I said riding wasn't a real sport. It's mostly wolves and horses, but I kinda expected that. Aw, Balthazar signed up too. I hope it's because he wants to play and not because he likes me. You don't like toads? Horrible Donald put real toads in my bed when I was little. He was crushed that I didn't scream when I saw him. More L, less A. Coral? What is this sport? I still kicked his butt for being mean to the poor toads. I don't think they like my bed. You guys always fight. Pretty much, he's been pulling stupid pranks on me since I was practically a baby. I thought all brothers did that. Not William. He's the best big brother ever. Lucky. Yeah, I guess I am. William's turning evil. We're going to the mall, gamers. I don't think that's how you say it. What should I do at the mall today? Food court. There are many different kinds of food available here. This seems like a waste of money. No food. I decided to just watch my friends eat while I sit and talk with them. It saves money, but makes me feel a bit left out. Stress decreases by 3. Let's go. We don't need to rest next week. I see Virginia at a table waving at me. ALD, over here. Coming closer, I stop and stare in awe at the monstrosity on the table in front of her. There's a cookie, then 2 brownies, each cut diagonally into triangles and set around the edges of the cookies like the rays of a pastry sun. Then a fat scoop of chocolate ice cream rippled with peanut butter and a smaller scoop of vanilla perched on it like a crown. Over the whole mess are whirls of whipped cream and a scattering of chopped nuts and chocolate sprinkles. The only thing missing is a cherry on top. Judging by the stems on the side of the plate, the cherries didn't last long. Are you going to eat that whole thing? You can have a bite if you want. 1 bite? She laughs. No, we can share it if you want. Dude, absolutely split the ice cream. Hand me a spoon. Dig in! The giant sundae is deliciously decadent, and I'm hungry. It might be a bad idea to stuff myself on nothing but dessert, but with Virginia on the other side of the table eating just as eagerly, it's hard to stop myself. Of course, after this, we'll both have a massive sugar rush. Want to run laps around the dorm? Is that why you're so hyper all the time, eating stuff like this? I'm glad we held off playing Monday so we could get Kimmy and Jose. Theoretically, we might still be able to get Kimmy's regularly on Monday. I just didn't bother her last Monday because I knew she was real busy with school stuff since she just recently started... Her school stuff started kicking into high gear lately. Not really. I just like being on the go. Finally, we make it down to the plate, and I sit back inside, replete. I also didn't know if this game would be good. Stress decreased by 6! Mall was a big brain play. Dear Mom and Dad, I've only gotten 1 letter from you so far. What's happening back home? I miss you. I've met so many people here, and most of them are nice, but it's not the same. My roommates and I have started a sports club. We had our first meeting today and played some pickup soccer, so don't worry, I'm getting plenty of exercise. Please write soon. Love, LT. With a sigh, I seal up the envelope and put it on my desk, ready to send. It hasn't even been a month yet, but I can't help feeling homesick. I just have to take each day as it comes. I decide to go for a walk around the campus. As I'm wandering around the buildings, I notice a tall figure tossing a ball up in the air and catching it. As I get close, I realize that I'm wrong. He's not throwing it and catching it. He's not touching it at all. William points his wand at the ball, holding it suspended in midair. With a flick of his wrist, he sends it flying upwards, where it eventually reverses course and comes back down again, to be caught when he manages to line up the tip of his wand with the falling sphere. It's just generic sport club. What are you doing? Control exercise. Is that hard? It's a matter of keeping your focus, keeping your rhythm, and not using too much force or it'll get away. If you want to show off, you do this with an egg. Makes it more obvious when you'd miss. I would like to attempt the egg magic. Can I try that with the ball? If you really want to, catch! He flicks the ball high up in the air, then steps out of the way. I try to summon up some kind of energy to push away the ball, but nothing happens. The ball hits the ground and bounces away. Oops. Hey, don't worry. You're only a freshman. This is upper class stuff. You're not supposed to be able to do it. That's true. William's a senior. Not only that, he's a senior class president. He's probably really good at magic. You're better off practicing spells that are meant for your level, especially right now, if you know what I mean. Huh? You'll find out. He winks, then goes to pick up his ball. Practice. I suppose I should get back to my dorm and think about what I'm going to do next week. Wrong magic tray? I just wanted to try, okay? You don't know unless you try. Do not load game. That would be a mistake. I just wanted to do a fun ball trick, okay? If you fail, it's alright. It's just a ball. I would not have tried if it was an egg. Club sign-ups, school clubs, sibling rivalry, Sunday, ball games. Please do not phrase it like that. Do I have anything in my inventory? Nope. Hit me with a next week. Do. Virginia yawns and stretches. Time for another week of the grind.
Wait.
Huh? What? If you failed in Death Tube, it's alright.
Well, the first big exam is this week, right?
Sure.
Who's giving the exam? What are we expected to know? When does it happen?
No idea. Aren't you supposed to know these things? Your family... Virginia waves a hand dismissively. Secrets, all kinds of secrets. William says if he tells me what's on the test, then the test wouldn't be fair.
Well, it would be wrong for him to tell you the answers. That's cheating, and William would never do that. But you must know something.
What kind of tests are they? Do we have to write essays or fight duels? Look, all I know is that it's about casting spells. That's it. Now come on, we have to pick our schedules for the week. Listen, brother. I think having a red spell would be important. I thought we'd get at least, like, we can't really transform anything. So I think we really gotta buckle down and learn something to attack. So we're gonna go 4 red, 1 white, because I really think ghost magic can help us in the long game. We're cramming red magic this week. Uh-oh, this is one of his classes. Get to your seats. Hurry up, no chatter. In this class, carelessness might cost you your fingers. He wouldn't really cut off students' fingers, would he? We also don't know any black spells. I'm not too worried about black spells. I'm more worried about having 1 offensive spell. Is this the prequel to the new Harry Potter game? This is better than the new Harry Potter game. Here you will be learning the seductive art of red magic, the evocation and control of energy. With this power, you might summon a breeze, light a fire, or call a distant object to hand. Damn it, that would have been good for the ball. I say this is seductive, not because of the power itself, but because simple minds prefer simple solutions. Blast your enemies with lightning, tear buildings apart with earthquakes, let the world around you burn. This dude Def seems like he would cut off some fingers. Fall victim to such vulgar fantasies, and you leave yourself vulnerable to those capable of creative thought. There are many approaches that direct force cannot defend against. He snaps his fingers in the air. 1 inattentive moment and you lose control of the forces you have summoned. After that, you will only be remembered as an unpleasant stain on the walls. He rubs his hands together and gives a nasty smile. Now for your lessons. 2 red magic skill, 2 stress. Doing it again. Failure? What? I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't remember why. Oh, right, someone's talking in her sleep.
Oh, William.
Is Ellen having a dream about... No, wait. That's Virginia's voice calling her brother's name. Do I want to know what she's dreaming about? Dip it in the sugar spot. No, I probably don't want to know. I'm going back to sleep. What? What? We need a big honker of this class. I need it there we go. Moves air around the caster's current square, creating a gentle breeze. Terrible. Garbage. I will be holding an extra review session after class for students wishing to prepare for tomorrow's exams. It is up to you whether or not you choose to attend. Oh, absolutely study session. Yeah, she was definitely dreaming of eating the giant ice cream thing, don't worry. The room is slightly too small for all the anxious freshmen clustering in it. From the whispers I overhear, it seems that no one knows what the test is going to cover, only that it takes place tomorrow. Professor Grabner's appearance doesn't settle anyone's nerves. Open your notebooks if you have them. This is not a quiz, this is for your own benefit. If you do not know the answer, look it up or ask someone. I scoot over to where I can peek at Ellen's notes. They're better organized than mine. If you have paid any attention to your schoolwork up to this point, you should be aware of a broad range of uses for magic within the pentachromatic system. Mr. Arius, if I wish to cast a spell to make a beast's fur fall out, what color of magic would I use? Green, sir. I should hope that you would know that much without the need to ask for my approval. Miss Felty, what color of magic would you use to transform a lump of coal into a diamond? Blue, blue, blue. Blue, sir? Why are you so hesitant? Yes, the magic of change would suffice. It continues in this vein, putting individual students on the spot to answer questions about the applications of each color of magic. Suddenly, his voice cuts off in the middle of a sentence. Mr. Danson. Yes, sir? As you do not appear to have need of these revisions, you are excused. You may find more challenging material to occupy you this Saturday in detention. Yes, sir. He leaves the room. What was that about? I didn't see him do anything, but it's too crowded in here to be sure. I hope all this revision is worth it. It's wearing me out. Smarts and stress increased by 1. All that for 1? I awaken to a knock on the door. Looking around the room, I notice that Virginia hasn't stirred at all. Ellen's awake, but she shakes her head frantically when I meet her eyes. I guess it's up to me to answer that. I pull on my robe and go to see who it is. Joyous morning to you, LT. Hi. I came to deliver your exam schedules. This is a solo exam, so each student has a separate time slot. Report to the listed room at the time indicated to receive further instructions. Further instructions at separate times? This exam process is very unusual. Listen, that Grabner is Severus Snape. I'm afraid there is one other thing. You haven't been broadening your magical palette as much as you could be. I know you're capable of more than this, LT. I want my students to embrace their own strengths, but how can you learn what your strengths are unless you try? Do you think detention would be useful to you? Some pupils benefit from a more structured environment. What did I do? What? What? I don't want detention. What are you talking about? I don't want detention. Then I'm afraid I have no choice but to assign you 10 What? What? You may receive more depending on your performance during the end. You didn't They literally said it was up to us. They explicitly said at the start that having a variety is best, but you may choose to focus on specific ones. They lied to me. Please consider your choices carefully. I can't protect you from the consequences of your own actions. Sorry, that's the fucking dumbest shit ever. Best of luck then. Remember, focus on your strengths and make them shine. Please pass on the schedules to your roommates. Absolutely not. They said we should, not that we had to, gain 3 white magic, 3 stress. Allows us to communicate understandably with a willing target. You can go back and look at the tutorial. It explicitly says that you can choose to focus on specific ones. Because one class, we didn't branch out more into. It's not even like we took a bunch of rest days. The instructions said to be at the... I'm actually, like, legit pissed at that. The instructions said to be at this room at this time. The door is closed and I can't see inside. Someone else might still be in there taking their test. Well, too bad. I don't want to be penalized for being late. I rap quietly but firmly on the door, and the world starts to go surreal. What happened? Where am I? You are now in Dungeon Level 1, Layout 5B. What? Who said that? The exit from this dungeon lies beyond the wall in front of you. There are no doors in your room. You must use magic in order to escape. Good luck. What magic? What am I supposed to do? No one answers. This must be the mysterious test that no one could tell us about. What happens if we fail? Are we stuck down here forever? Bricked up like the cask of Amontillado? Surely even Professor Grabner wouldn't be that awful. So I have to use magic. What kind of magic? I'll only get one choice. Blue is the best we have. I'm not, by the way, if anyone's curious, I'm not surprised by this happening because the trailer for the game gives it away. That you go into dungeon stuff. White, we could summon ghosts to help. Blue is like... I wish I remembered what our spells were. I would like to use white to summon ghost help. Well, let's see what happens if I try a spell. Apparently not much. What do I do now? Should I try something else? Wait, something's happening. I'm back in the school. Miss Felty, did you have a plan or were you flailing blindly? My plan was to summon a ghost because I literally have the spell to do that. I literally have the spell to see things from the other world, so I tried that. Huh? Would you care to tell me how you intended to get yourself out of the wall room using mind magic? Because it's not just mind magic. I had this beaten into my head that it's more spiritual than mind. I was the one that thought it was just mind magic, and literally everyone, including the game, told me I was wrong. I hit the wrong button. Uh-oh. You have no idea. No, I have a pretty clear idea. For your performance, you have earned 5 demerits in detention tomorrow. There you may consider what options might have stood you wiser instead. Dismissed. I return to the hallway, my face burning. What a disaster. So there's no point. So it's not about what spells you have. It's about, do you know what the spells are supposed to do? Because the answer would have been either red to destroy or blue to teleport. But I did not have any of those spells. I was thinking too much from a gameplay perspective, which they don't want you to do that. So how about the exam, huh? How'd you do? That's not the right voice at all. It was a disaster and now I've got detention. Oh no. You okay? I guess. I feel stupid, that's all. Well, I'm sure you'll do better next time. I blew up the wall, mostly anyway. Old Grabby said that's the boring answer, but I thought it was fun. What about you, Ellen? Well, I just teleported back. Look at that! Look at that! The 2 things that I logically said would make the most sense, except I didn't have spells for them. But nobody told me that spells were pointless, and we were just guessing based off what the spells were supposed to do. That's great. Ha! That makes sense. What do you think the other exams will be like? More dungeons? Probably. Weird how the exams are more fun than the classes. Not in the slightest. I don't think they are. Eh. So, what are you guys doing today? At that moment, there's a knock on the door. Is that the allowances? Why didn't they just push them in? Watch, I'm not going to get an allowance for some reason. In the hallway by our door, I see a small stack of envelopes. The normal ones with the allowances in them. And also a large brown padded envelope addressed to me. My parents sent me something. Okay, never mind. You were not thinking either. Shut the fuck up. Of course I was thinking. I literally explained my thought process to you. I go back inside and hand out the money to the other girls. Well, what have you got there? Something for my parents, I don't know. It's absolutely covered in tape. It's gonna take me a few minutes to get it open. I'll still be here later, I guess. Or it'll still be here later. I thought she was being super passive-aggressive to her when she said I guess. Maybe I'd rather look at it without my roommates around anyway. I have to go to do my detention now. Good luck. What is detention? When I arrive at the detention hall, Donald is already with the professor. Even if it had succeeded, varying inflection requires an ongoing alteration, not a simple change. It would have been the same quack endlessly repeated. Yeah. Then he notices me. What are you doing here? Did Urchin send you? No. Not everything that happens in the school has to do with you, Mr. Danson. As it may not serve my best interests as to correct your technique, I choose instead to address your sense of humor. The sophomore exams involved a large number of jerseys, which means the dungeons needed cleaning out, without magic. Get to it. Yes, sir. Now for you, Miss Felty. He hands me a strange object that looks like some kind of child's toy. It's a large silver jingle bell imprisoned in a tiny wooden cage. 2 colorful discs held together by narrow bars all along the rims. You can see the bell and shake it and hear it chime, but the gaps between the bars are far too small to get it out. The cage must have been built around it. Write me an essay describing various magical methods you could use to remove the ball from the cage and the pros and cons of each approach. You do not need to be capable of casting the spells you describe, but make an attempt to estimate their difficulty and danger. I require at least 10 possibilities before you will be allowed to leave. I mean, I could do this. Great. Get started. And so the afternoon passes stressfully. Trophy earned, naughty. Finally it's done and I can leave. On my way back to my dorm, I run into Donald. Hey, done with your detention? How'd it go? It was a crappy job. Huh? I was cleaning up after jerseys. Football jerseys? A jersey went away. 10? He laughs. I forgot, you're a newbie. Imagine a horse about as tall as a cat with bat wings and a long forked tail. That's a jersey. Flying horses. More like birds that scream and kick you in the head and go all over the place. So you were cleaning up after a horse? Ew. That's horrible. He shouldn't make you do something like that. It's not that bad. I used to help my buds with dogs back in normal school. I really wanted a pet and my folks wouldn't let me have one. I was always bringing things home that I'd found and they'd keep throwing them out again. Except the caterpillars. They let me keep those until they hatched. Yeah, it's Jersey Devils. Still, that's pretty mean. Teachers aren't supposed to be allowed to make kids clean toilets with toothbrushes anymore. That's because kids kept blowing up the toilets. You wouldn't. Of course not. Anyway, see you around. Same time next week. He waves and walks away. Next week, detention again? I hope not. While my roommates are out, I pull out the package that my parents sent me. Well, not a package really. It's not a box, just a big envelope wrapped in tape. I try for a while to pull the tape off, but it's not coming. Eventually I pull out some nail clippers and use them to make a small hole and tear it apart. Inside is a letter and a small newspaper, my old school's paper, and a stack of photographs. There's Mom and Dad waving at me, my house, my backyard. They haven't forgotten me after all. It'll still be quite a while before I need to get to go home, not until Thanksgiving, but they're not really that far away. If they need me, they could come and get me. I've been here for about a month now. I guess I'm getting used to this life. Absolutely dog shit. Fucking terrible. Let's hit one more week. And then call it a stream. How do I lose merits? Or how do I get rid of merits? How do I gain merits, I should say. Hey, you guys, are either you interested in running for class office?
Like, president?
I don't think... What do you have to do to run? Not much, you just have to tell the teachers by the end of the week that you want to run. The next week, everybody votes. Oh, and you have to have a clean record, no demerits. That rules me out. Unless you know how to get rid of demerits.
There must be some way to earn merits and balance your record. Maybe you could ask one of the professors to let you do an extra credit project.
Let's go. You won't catch me asking for extra work. Anyway, there are only 2 positions for the freshman class, president and treasurer. The upper classes have more because they do more events and stuff. The freshman officers don't do anything? I'm sure they do something, just not as much. Like the junior class is in charge of the prom, and that's a big deal. And then the same people who run the prom junior year have to run initiation at the start of the next year because elections haven't been held yet. It's a ton of work. It's much easier for freshmen. You probably just have to go to meetings with the teachers and nod a lot. So you interested?
No one would vote for me.
But that's why I'm asking. See, Minnie Cochran is obviously going to win president, but it's not even worth trying for that. But the treasurer position's open. Pastel says Jacob says he thinks he'll win it easy, so I want someone else to win. Anyone else. William isn't running for president in his class again this year, so it's perfect. He can endorse a freshman candidate, and then they're sure to win.
I'm not sure that's...
Why don't you run? No way! Class officers have to have meetings with teachers. I see way too much of them in class already. Speaking of which, we need to pick our classes for the week. Alright. I mean, if straight up, because you're gonna be fucking assholes about it. We're gonna go black, black, black. Hit me with more ghost magic. And give me some rest. Let's see how much stress we lose from resting. I arrive in the classroom feeling slightly apprehensive. Black magic? Will there be zombies? Good morning, has everyone got a smock or an apron? There are plenty at the back. Aprons? What are we going to do with those? For those of you who are new to our magical traditions, I should reassure you that black magic has nothing to do with death or evil. There's no such thing as evil magic. There's only magic. The bad and the good come from how you choose to use it. Black is the color of weight, solidity, and permanence. Black magic is the magic of enchantment in physical form. All wands and things like that are created with black magic. This does mean that cursed items are enchanted with black magic as well. That might be how people got the wrong idea. A pale girl with dark hair raises her hand. Yes, Raven?
Since you're enchanting matter and bones are matter, you could use black magic to animate a skeleton, right?
That's an interesting question. You could certainly enchant a skeleton to hold a spell or react in some way. You could set a skull to chatter its jaw when anyone came near like an alarm. But to make something that could walk around and act on its own, you'd need to bind a spirit to it, and that calls for another kind of magic. We will get to combine techniques later in the year. That's white and black. Now, one of the easiest ways to infuse magic into a physical substance is to mix things together in liquids, potions, and that's what we'll be starting with. Always remember to wear a smock or apron. Potion stains can ruin your uniform. One black magic and one stress. Easy. When I get back to my room this afternoon, the others are already there and they don't look happy. What's going on? Horrible Donald left a box of cat poop on our doorstep during class.
It was really mean.
Ew. I can't believe he kept it. Kept what? His detention was cleaning up Jersey poo from the dungeons.
Professors can make you do something like that?
They should have done worse. They probably will once I tell them about this. You're gonna tell on him?
He's going too far. He has to stop.
I suppose, but I don't think more detentions are gonna change Donald. I ain't no snitch. October 1st, baby. Who does this? Donald. Dude, we're getting so few points in black magic. I'm getting ready for dinner when someone knocks on the door. Hey! Virginia's not here. I was looking for you. Wanna earn some easy merits? How? Come with me. We go with him. Okay, where are we going? Outside. We don't have to do what he says. We can just go with him. When we get outside, I see a large stack of clay pots and some tools by one of the flower beds. Oh, there you are. Yes, ma'am, and I brought a friend. That's lovely. It's wonderful to see students working together. Now I've brought you some trowels. You should break up the soil in a circle around each plant before you try to move it. Make sure to keep a good-sized football attached. Small damage doesn't matter. I'll be coaxing these little ones along once we get them to their new nest. As long as you keep them in one piece, they'll be fine. Is every month focus on a new character? Maybe. At least this wasn't a prank. I'll be back in an hour to see how you're getting on. Enjoy! She smiles and walks away, followed by the sound of tinkling bells. So, what exactly are we doing? Digging up flowers and putting them in pots. Why? So they can plant different flowers in the same place. What was wrong with the old ones? It's their time of the month. What? Gotcha! We're doing it because Potsdam wants it done, that's all. He lifts his nose in the air and speaks in a crackly, high-pitched voice, waving his hands about. The greater interests of lunar harmony are served by moving every petal 280 degrees with her shins. Sparkly. Oops, wrong button. I laugh. Anyway, grab a trowel and let's get moving. This shouldn't take too long. Did we just enter Donald's route by failing miserably? Maybe. Okay. Yeah, maybe I dropped the Damien route by not asking about him. I pick up one of the tools and crouch beside the flower bed. Do you do gardening at home? I've mowed some lawns. That's about it. But how hard can it be? I like outdoor stuff. Luke didn't want to get dirty under his nails, but I figured you would. He thinks I like dirt? You gotta take points where you can. What do we get for this? 10 merits. Each? Better be. Don't just sit there. Dig. I like Donald. Donald's a fine man. He's just a prankster. He's helped us out. He knew we were in need. He helped us out. Digging up plants is hot, messy work, but it's not really difficult. It's easy to let my mind wander, remembering the garden behind my house, the mud pies I made as a kid. Donald turns out to be an efficient worker, moving flowers into pots with a minimum of fuss. I wondered for a while if he was going to try and put dirt down my robe while I wasn't looking, but he seemed focused on the task at hand. Hey, look what I found! He holds out his hand. A snail shell? A whole snail, I think. I don't see. They sleep during the day. He pokes a hole in some loose dirt with his finger and sets the shell inside of it. Be careful with the trowel, just in case there are more under there. Are there supposed to be snail here? Why not? No reason, I guess. I don't know much about snails. After a while, my back starts to hurt and I've got muck all over my skirt, but we finally gotten all the flowers into pots. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your help. 10 merits for each of my little gnomes. You're welcome. Now to get back to my hall and wash my hands. Alright, white magic. Big points for white magic. Sleeping reduce stress a lot. I think anytime we hit 40 stress, we schedule a rest. So, are you gonna do it?
I don't think...
Ah, come on.
I'm not that sort of person.
LT, are you gonna run for treasurer? I can't. You have to have a clean record, remember? Right. I just have to look somewhere else then. She leaves the room. Ellen sits on her bed and brushes back her hair.
Such a strange thing to get so worked up over.
Well, she is very competitive.
If it really matters so much, she ought to do it herself instead of trying to get everyone else to do it for her.
I shrug. I suppose.
Do you think her brother will do what she says? Promote someone just because she wants him to?
Probably. She's his baby sister. He looks out for her.
He's so sweet.
Oh, he is he? Ellen? Have you got a crush on William?
What? No. Maybe.
She sighs and flops back onto the bed.
Yes?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you like William. So what's the problem? He's cute, he's responsible, he's a good student. He's popular. Yes, got out of that extra responsibility. So
he could have any girl he wants. And he never want a girl like me. Guys want someone pretty who likes makeup and dancing and pouts until she gets her way. Jenny's not even 13 yet, and she's already got boys chasing her. Boys think of me as just a rock with hair, a useless fuzzy lump. William is nice. He would never. But he would never.
Tell him you like him. If you like him, you should tell him.
No.
What's the worst that can happen? He says no, then you know and you don't have to worry about it anymore. And what if he likes you and you're just wasting time not knowing it?
That's not very likely.
You'll never know unless you try. We're horses. We're supposed to be daring. You're cute and clever and sweet. You're not hopeless. Maybe he likes you. Maybe he doesn't. There's only one way to find out.
I'll think about it.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Virginia stretches and yawns. So are you and William working on your plan to take over the class today? Well, we can't today exactly. Why not? He's not here.
What do you mean he's not here?
It's Cider Day, the big apple festival in the next county over. Most of the upperclassmen go there on field trip. It's over an hour away, so they have to leave early. Why didn't we hear about it? Freshmen aren't allowed. It's a privilege.
What's an apple festival?
A harvest fair. Don't you have those where you come from?
I don't know.
They get a big old-fashioned cider press set up on the green so everybody can watch the apples being crushed, and they sell jugs of it. There's lots of food, apple donuts, apple sausages, apple upside-down cake, caramel apple, squash apple soup. Well, it's not all apples. big bake sale, craft sale, art contest, and there's fiddlers in the day, and even a contra dance in the evening. From the look on Ellen's face, she has no idea what a contra dance is, but she's not going to ask. So the seniors are going off to a dance without us. Well, it doesn't matter. What should I do today? Go to study, because we need to make sure we're smart. I really want some apple cider right now. After dinner, I'm walking back to my room with Ellen and Virginia when I notice a small box sitting in front of the door. Another box? Oh, not again. She pulls back a foot to kick the offending object and pauses. Hey, LT, this one's for you. Me? I peer down at the box. Sure enough, it says to LT in flowing letters. Nothing about who sent it. Is this another one of Donald's tricks? Why would he send it to me? Dude, absolutely open the box. I don't know why anyone would send me a present, but I don't know why anyone would send me a prank either. Let's see what it is. I pick it up. Too heavy for clothing. It opens up here. Oh, it's a pie. Cool. A golden flaky pastry lattice covers a filling of spiced fruit, probably apple.
But how did it get here?
Some upperclassmen must have brought it from the festival, I guess. Oh, maybe it's from William.
Why would he be sending LT a pie?
What, ILT isn't good enough to send a pie too? Ellen looks away. Oops, Virginia doesn't know about Ellen's crush on William, does she? He would probably have left a note if it were him. Maybe it was Isabel taking pity on his poor freshman. I'm drinking apple cider, Damien. Do we have a fridge or anything? Nope, you're just gonna have to eat it.
You can't eat a whole pie.
Share it with roommates. Of course not, we'll share. Let's go back to the cafeteria and find some plates and forks.
Woo! I'm not sure. I don't know if I like apple pie. I've never eaten it.
What? How can you have never had apple pie? That's like a requirement of American culture. Are you supposed to be from which culture? I'm American first. I grew up here just as much as you guys did, you know. Anyway, if you aren't sure, this is the perfect time to try some, right? If you don't like it, Virginia will eat your share. You bet. We split the pie amongst us, and it is delicious. No lowering stress on that one. Nasty prank. Anyway, gamers. That is gonna be our adventure for today. Sunday, October 6th. Hello, Dunker. Big chunky chunker. I unfortunately have to go. I have other things to attend to. It's been a trip. I think the telling you can focus on whatever you want and then punishing you for focusing on whatever you wanted is the dumbest fucking thing ever. I think all future quizzes or exams will be easier now that I know it's testing my knowledge and not what actual skills I have. And that is how it is. Thanks for coming out. Tomorrow, universe mode. And that's how it be. Thanks for coming, and I will see you next time.